Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be re-reviewing the Studio Series 97 Airazor back when they had numbers. But, of course, as per usual, before we take a look at Airazor, we need to take a look at the box. So we got Transformers Rise of the Beasts, Transformers Studio Series 97 Airazor, Transformers. On the side, you get probably a very early representation of what Airazor was going to look like in the movie. And on the side, you get that same render again, Deluxe Class, Studio Series 97. On the back, you get Airazor in completely different colors. Peruvian Jungle Discovery. You get Airazor leads the Autobots to the maximal layer, 23 steps of transformation, and backdrop included, which I wish they would include that with the Studio Series figures nowadays, because I liked those backdrops. But, whatever. Now, let's look at Airazor. If I can make her stand. Her robot mode can't be accurate to anything, because we never see her robot mode in the movie, so this is okay. I like the feather detail on her, and the colors are really nice with the green and the tan. The two different shades of green, this almost like greenish tan, and the bits of silver, all look really nice. One thing I didn't know when I initially reviewed this figure, a year and a half ago, my 10th review, good lord. Anyways, I didn't know she takes all of her engineering from the Kingdom version. It's not a retool at all, it's just the exact same engineering. Kind of mask on her head looks really nice, and the mechanical detail looks good as well, alongside the aforementioned feather detail, especially on the back. Her back is pretty clean, she's just got the wings back there, but it's a combination of mechanical and feather and animal details. Accessories are these little missiles on the side of her arms. They peg in to the side and just kind of stay there. You can remove them, but you don't need to remove them for transformation or anything. They're the same shiny green that's on other parts of the figure, which makes them look in place, so that's really nice. Now, articulation. Head is on a ball joint, can rotate, can look up slightly. I wish it would look up more for a flyer. Can't look down at all. Move this wing out of the way. You cannot get a full 360 due to the wings, unfortunately, but they can go out a full 90. You get bicep rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. You get upward moving wrists. She does have a waist swivel, but it is locked into place by the bird beak, so you have to untab it, but then you get access to the waist. Come on, peg it. Peg in. Why are you not pegging in? There you go. Her hips kick forward that far. Unfortunately, let's peg the wing back in. Due to the way the wings are, you can't really move this back, so they only go back that far. They go out all the way. You get a thigh rotation, fairly tight thigh rotation, maximum knee bend, and the feet can pivot up all the way, can pivot back a little bit, ankle tilt, and a joint and a swivel due to her ball jointed feet, but the tilt isn't as much as I would like. So with that, she's able to get into some pretty decent poses. I have her holding the piece of the transwarp key, but now let's do some size comparisons. Why does my camera keep doing that? I'm sorry if my camera moves. I just bump it a lot while I record these, so I apologize if it moves. But if I could get a better tripod to keep it in place, that would be nice, but I don't have that. So here we have Cheetor. So he's a fair bit taller, because Airazor is the only deluxe class maximal, not the only deluxe class beast former from Rise of the Beasts. We got the Scorponok mold for that, which I do not own. We got Rhinox, again, a little taller. Gotta bring the camera up. A little taller than Cheetor, so he needs to be able to fit in frame. And finally, for the Maximals, we have Optimus Primal, who is about the same height as Rhinox. So yeah, this scale works out really well. Now, let's transform it. So, first thing I like to do is take the wings. So, these tabs go into these slots for robot mode. So, you want to straighten the wings out and fold and just completely unfurl them and bring them back. Next thing you want to do is bring up this piece, which will allow you to bring this assembly back. Then unpeg this, and there's a whole double joint system in there that you can't really see. There, you can see. So there's a joint there and a joint there. So you want to take that and shift it up. Then you want to rotate this entire assembly 180 degrees. That slot will go into that little hook tab. Then you want to rotate the waist, rotate the biceps in, bring in the hands, and they will go into those hollow gaps in there. Rotate around the missiles. Do the same on the other side. Now we can get to work on the legs. So rotate the thighs 180 degrees. Rotate the feet 180 degrees. Compress these. Now this big slot here will peg into that tab. So just slide that in, collapse this whole assembly, and bring the foot up, and we're going to put her into a perching pose because that's the easiest way to see all of her detail. So we're going to do that real quick. Perching pose acquired. And here we have the Hawk mode. The Hawk mode is not accurate at all. Probably based on concept art. In fact, I know it's based on concept art because the concept art is actually on the box. But still, colors, wrong. Detail, wrong. It's not, but it's just not accurate, except for the fact that it turns into a bird. Still, it looks pretty okay. It's a good beast mode, and the only one of the 4 Maximals with good weapon integration with those missiles. Now, articulation. So her head is on a swivel, can hinge down that far, a full 90 degrees, and her beak opens, although that is silver paint, so don't get your nails in there too much. The wings, they're articulated here, they're articulated here, 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 and here. So they can bend back and up, like so, or they can go out, and then this whole assembly hinges in, or they can, as previously stated, hinge inward. So the wings are very posable on this figure. She keeps her waist swivel, although can untap stuff sometimes. And then you get this hinge right here and the same foot articulation. And then, of course, a thigh rotation. So overall, she is fairly articulated in her beast mode. Now, let us do some size comparisons. So first up for size comparisons, we have Cheetor. So there is that comparison for y'all. Next up, we have Rhinox, the beefcake himself. So Airazor is definitely the smallest of the 4 Maximals. And of course, that is more exemplified when we look at her next to Optimus Primal. Now, she is taller than Primal in this form, but when Primal stands up, that is a completely different story. Now, I do prefer Primal on all 4s, like a gorilla, but this is how the instructions have him, this is how he's packed and everything, so this is how we compare. And I'd say it's a pretty good comparison. There goes Primal plonked on the table. Now, let's get into some final thoughts. That was a terrible snap. Overall, this is a good figure. Unfortunately, not at retail anymore, but still solid. After all, for a maximal collection, you do need her. What? Okay, script, hello. My script is being weird, I apologize. What in the... Why? Do you just not like it when I scroll up? Okay, so that's the beginning of the Maximal Saga. Reborn! With that said, you can expect Cheetor next weekend, but that may change due to my school starting. Whatever, it is what it is. So, with that said, goodbye, and good night.